Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I really wanted to kind of do a little plant update video. I know I did one like 2 weeks ago, I think, and so I really wanted to do another one. A little bit has changed, but today we are also going to be finally growing some vegetables in our garden, because we have a little starter garden that me and my grandma planted around maybe like a month ago. And yeah, I believe we have tomatoes, basil, marigolds, because marigolds actually help with like aphids and all that, and carrots right now, and I think that's all. And but we are going to add, I believe we are going to add, you'll see. But anyways, I think I'm going to start off by doing some plant updates. Okay, so I feel like we always start with plant updates, kind of more on the sadder side, but my beautiful succulent, the one that was one of my favorite succulents, if I have a photo of it, I'll put a photo of it. It got rot, and basically most of it kind of just fell off, and now it is just a nub. And it's still in the same exact pot. They'll grow roots, but now it is literally just a little speck. I was very sad, just because that was one of my favorite plants. I know I talked about it on my first video, and now that it is just gone, it kind of breaks my heart, but it is totally fine, I guess. So yeah, but that's the first plant update. As we're kind of talking about some of my favorite plants, my bromeliads, I had to put them inside just because they were not doing the best, and I actually found out that bromeliads are they don't do the best in very hot weather, very dry weather, because they are more tropical plants. I mean, like, they can live, but like in like non-tropical areas, but I don't know, I don't want them to die, just because it's kind of harder to find the bromeliad that I do have. It's kind of harder to find them in my area, and so yeah. But then I'll also put a photo of the beautiful things that I did. So basically, I just mounted them on some wood with some moss, and they're hanging right in front of my grow lights. And finally, I got white grow lights, and so I am very happy about that. So yeah, but they are now living inside. I did just post this on my shorts, but my sunflower, one of my sunflowers, finally bloomed. This one is starting to kind of bloom. You can kind of see the yellow right in there, but this one finally bloomed, and they're very beautiful. They're very small and very petite little sunflowers. I don't know, this might be the only sunflower it's gonna push out, but yeah, very exciting. They're very wet because I just watered them. Yeah, but it's just super exciting also. Little baby. So another planty chore is, I finally got a money tree. I know I was talking about it, I think like 2 videos ago, but I finally got one. So what I did is I made a kokedama. If you know, I've been really in a kokedama phase right now, and yeah, it's so beautiful. Like I was talking about, I really wanted a chunkier stem one where it's just like a stump, and it's just a bunch of leaves. But this one, I don't know, it's kind of growing on me. I really like it. And then I made this little kind of deserty landscape with this one. I've seen them all over Pinterest, and I fell in love with it. It has a little bit of bonsai soil, wire to keep it from, because if the wire was not in here, it would tip over. So it's like a little bonsai, I don't know, but it's super cute. I took a couple photos of them, and yeah, I'm very in love. Also, just don't look at my closet. but I did not know that it was open. So yeah, but beautiful. I'm so happy that I finally get to have some money trees. I personally don't believe in the whole entire money tree, like um, good luck stuff, but I do just love how the tree looks, and I love just, I don't know, I love the story behind them, and I think they are just so fun and interesting looking plants. Also, here are the bromeliads that I was talking about earlier. These two are actually babies or pups that came off of this one. So they are on there together. They look very cute, very nice. And then this is the mother plant. So they're just gonna live, they're gonna live, my finger, they're gonna live in here maybe until like October or November, when it starts to get down to like the 70s in my area. And then I will put them back outside. But for now, they are perfectly fine inside. So basically, also this is a voiceover, but basically I had to do a voiceover just because when we were doing this, some of my family, like my sister and my grandpa, wanted to come check on what we were doing, and I don't know, I just felt like it was a little bit too much, for the video, as I'm like trying to talk to them, plus talking to my dad, plus talking to you guys. I don't know, I just feel like that was a lot. Also, I was checking you the roots. These, I believe, are the sweet peppers, I believe. So yeah, but the rest of the video is probably just gonna be me working on the garden, talking to my dad, and also just kind of talking to you guys. So yeah. Also, I had to put on gloves just because, with houseplants, to me, it's a little different than working out in the garden. I feel like when we're working out in the garden, it's more dirtier, I guess you could say. But when I'm working with like inside plants or my back porch plants, or just, plants that I don't really mind getting as dirty, it's not super dirty to me. But when we're working out the garden, it's like I need to have some sort of gloves. So yeah, also I think I was getting the hose. That's why you're just kind of listening to me and just kind of staring off into the garden. But yeah, so that's my grandma's garden in the background. We have a lot of beautiful, yeah, we just have a beautiful garden. And then that was another sweet pepper, I believe. We had to wet down the ground though, just because in the Central Valley, it gets very, like, all the soil is very, very dry. Also, there's my dad. He did not know that I was recording, and I had to tell him that I was recording. And if I look mad, I was not mad. It's just kind of like I was squinting a lot, and when I squint, I always look kind of mad. So, yeah, I'm not mad. But anyways, yeah, but in the Central Valley, which is in California, right in the middle of California, it's like a desert. It literally is just like a desert. And so our ground is very hard, like rock hard. So that's why we had to rototill it, which breaks up the ground. And then we have to put some water on it to kind of help to get the plant in there. And then here I'm just kind of watering it. And then my dad came up with the thought, because with our hose, we don't have no like spigot on the end of the hose. So it was kind of harder to water the plant like evenly. And then there's me trying to show a sweet pepper, or the sweet pepper tag. And so it just kind of breaks down the ground a little more. But anyways, so my dad came up with the smart idea that we can use just the watering can that we have to kind of evenly distribute the water around the surface. And but as you could tell by my dad's back, it was very hot. It was around, I believe, 98 degrees today, and yeah, it was literally hell. But it was still a lot of fun though. I really do, as you can tell, the reason why I made this YouTube channel is because I really love gardening. And I really love plants, and I love, just hanging out with plants and, having fun. Also, this is a cucumber, I think. Yeah, it's cucumber, just a cucumber plant. But yeah, I really just have a lot of fun, and I especially love doing it with, the people that I love, like my friends and family. Like with my grandma when we planted that garden behind me. But it's a lot of fun. We both have a lot of fun doing it, and it makes great memories. And my dad, also, there I am again showing it. My dad loves gardening. Even before I was born, I believe he used to do gardens. And yeah, but it's just a lot of fun, and that's why I love kind of getting to share with you guys kind of like my adventure of gardening and through the seasons. And I know right now it's, might be very hot where you live, and especially where I live. It just kind of shows the seasons and how my garden looks through the season, and it is still just so much fun. So yeah, but I thank you guys so much for watching my videos, and if you have subscribed, that just means so much to me. So altogether, I just want to say, through all that yapping, I just want to say thank you so, so much. So here's the finished garden. Those two are the ones that my dad did. They are the squash, I believe. And then over here are the three that I did. There's the cucumber and the 2 peppers. All right, everyone. Well, we are finally done. It is a very hot day today. It's like 98 degrees today. And if you live in the Central Valley in California, you know that it gets very hot. It gets up to the usually 110s, but that's only like a handful of days. So, but yeah, most of the video is probably going to be a voiceover, just because some of my family came out, and I just didn't really want to be like too crazy. And then my phone actually got overheated, and so I had to put it in the shade for a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely more kind of a kind of non-aesthetic video, but it's kind of what outside gardening kind of is sometimes. So, but yeah, so that's gonna be all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And if you love planty videos and vlog videos and gardening videos just all together, make sure to give me a follow. You don't have to, but if you want to, that's awesome. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.